Elsewhere, chieftain of the All Progressives Congress and former governor of Ogun State, Ibikunle Amosun, has led the governorship campaign of Biyi Otegbeye of the African Democratic Congress in the state. The former governor, who refused to join the re-election campaign of Governor Dapo Abiodun of the APC, openly declared support for the ADC candidate and was part of the unveiling of the party. He appreciated the support of his people and urged them to vote for Bola Tinubu as the president of Nigeria and Mr. Otegbeye of the ADC as the governor of Ogun State.
President, Bola Tinubu. It's my own anointed candidate. This is the candidate that all of our people in Ogun State. The sweat and the labor of the founding fathers of this state. Since the commencement of Ogun State in 1976, have been destroyed by the present administration. Rather than progressing, the state is regressing. And we are here to fix all the rots.
Elsewhere, in Delta State, the storm in the People's Democratic Party seems not to have settled months after the governorship primary election that produced the party's governorship standard-bearer, Sheriff Obori. Now, supporters of the PDP governorship candidate in Delta State, as well as party faithful, have been advised to remain focused following the malicious suit filed against the party and the candidate by a former governorship candidate, Agariwanowe Ike. In a statement, the Delta PDP Campaign Council spokesperson Fred Ogun ADC alleged the former governorship aspirant, who scored 0 votes at the governorship primaries in May last year, is trying to use the judiciary to achieve the impossible. He noted that Mr. Ike is fully based in the United Kingdom, where he has been practicing law, adding that the plaintiff is not known to be an active player in the internal politics of the PDP. Mr. Ogun ADC further posited that Mr. Ike is not a popular politician in Delta State, saying his mission is to cause confusion in the party. A Tinubu 2023 presidential support group by the name BAT Medics has conducted free medical outreach to residents in Jos North Council area of Plateau State. The event is aimed at reaching the downtrodden with the message of what they stand to benefit in terms of healthcare delivery services when they cast their vote for the APC candidate Bola Tinubu and Senator Kashim Shettima in the coming presidential election. TVC News Plateau correspondent Funam Joshua report. After that, the weather forecast and business news.
Residents of Bauchi Road and Tudunwada communities of Jos North Council area of Plateau State, they have turned out in this large number to access free medical services brought to the communities by the BAT Medics. The BAT Medics are a group of health workers that have come together to support as well as contribute their part to Bola Tinubu's 2023 presidential ambition. Different types of healthcare services were provided free of charge to residents irrespective of tribe, religion, or ethnicity. A few of the beneficiaries that spoke to us pledged to vote and mobilize votes for Asiwaju Tinubu in the coming presidential polls.
This shows that this man has a people at heart, and when come into power, they are already shown that the APC government will up and doing in terms of, among other things, in terms of healthcare delivery. So it is a welcome development for the APC family.
I know that he's going to be a good leader. If he can do this for each and every one of us, all of the parties, not even APC alone, he did it for all of the people in Tudunwada, let me say Plateau State. So I am here to tell him thank you, and may God open ways for him, and may God help him.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, it's a household name, and people are happy because this is the way to go. When you are looking for a position, and then you look for where the downtrodden are, and then you reach out to them. Of course, definitely they will go home and have reason to think. It is an indication that there will be continuity, and then there is hope that if he gets there, they are going to benefit more. And I so wish and pray that God will grant him his heart desires as we work towards ensuring that he emerges.
we are targeting the most vulnerable, the poorest of the poor, who naturally can't afford a quality health care. So this intervention is targeting them, bringing a good medical intervention to their doorstep.
The benefiting communities believe a vote for Asiwaju is a vote for free healthcare and good things to come their way. They are sure of mobilizing votes to see to his victory. Funom Joshua, TVC News, Jos.
Joining us live now is Babajide Akeredolu, his chairman, Progressives Youth Stakeholders. Thank you for joining us on TVC News at 7. Well, what really are these new campaign strategies that your group is deploying?
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here. I think for us, especially in Ogun State, we are, I think for us, it's been tied to how we can mobilize the youth in a very different way, especially the young women. There's been a lot of emphasis on a lot of neglect of what you consider the largest voting bloc. And we as the youth in the state, we've been on top of finding new, interesting ways to engage a lot of young people within Ondo states to try to drive adoption and try to drive participation in partisan politics. I mean, we're one of the very, I guess, quite a number of states you'd say are very voter conscious, or but I think Ondo State is one of the states that's very educated when it comes to politicking and politics. But we believe that there's an opportunity to catch a lot of undecided voters by reaching out to groups that are typically neglected, but everybody knows are critical to the success of any election.
All right, then. Well, where exactly do you think people, especially young people, should queue behind the APC presidential candidate?
For us, and we get this question every time, and, for a lot of us, it's been around the whole idea of having somebody that has best interest at heart, specifically around his ability to find the right people in the right places. I think historically, we've always known our presidential candidate, Bola Tinubu, as someone that is not particular about your age. If you can execute, you can execute. And we've been able to try to let a lot of young people know that, look, rally around him. He will pick the best and the brightest. Many of us are young, and he's going to put us in the right places to succeed, and most importantly, to help Nigeria develop. We're going through a lot as a country, and we need the best and brightest minds to help with helping the country. And we believe having someone like Tinubu, who will pick the right set of people, who many of us are young and bright.
I understand you. All right, but I know there are concerns that a number of young people are yet to pick up their PVCs. And as you know, the PVC is your right to vote. What are you doing to encourage people to go out there and collect their permanent voter cards?
Beyond, like in our state, for example, I know in the whole Southwest, I'm sure you're aware, the APC states, we had declared a public holiday at some point to really drive PVC adoption. Amongst other things, in our case, we just had a meeting with all the youth leaders in every ward in the states to start to drive the adoption, or at least to start to galvanize the youth base to go and pick up their PVCs. It's something that's been ongoing. It's a strategy that we know has worked because it worked to a large extent when we were mobilizing for registration for the party. And then we know that if we still replicate that approach or that strategy, we can really push to get more people to pick up their PVCs, because whether we like it or not, a lot of PVC collection is a grassroots affair. It's something that, if you don't have the right people or the right structure in place to really drive that level of adoption or drive the interest, if people don't see people they're familiar with, to say, okay, this is someone I know that's really pushing me, then you might have some significantly low adoptions. But for us, really pushing that grassroots drive, especially within the party, and leveraging the structures in place, we believe that we can definitely improve adoption across the state.
Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us. Chairman, Progressives Youth Stakeholders, Babajide Akeredolu. Thanks again.
Thank you so much. Take care.